Hello everybody. So yesterday we didn't get a dot, and so I thought he did nothing. I was wrong. He continued to dilute MSTR to do the stretch buyback and to add to the cash reserve. It's more of the same, more of the small actions he's been doing for the past 8 weeks now or something like that. So he did that, but to do that, right, he had to dilute the common shareholder by 334 million worth of dilution. And he split that, of course, between the cash reserve, now 4.8 billion, and STRC buybacks at 132 million. So I hope he's going to stop at 5 billion in the cash reserve. I think 5 billion is a nice round number that's going to sound like it's enough for the market, because I wish he did nothing. I'm wishing Saylor would just do nothing, maybe go on a vacation until September 1st, until the start of the fall, and the start of Wall Street coming back to work, because frankly, I am not so sure this is having any impact on either the stock price or on Stretch. Now, I'll continue to say what I've said before, is they have such a large stack of Bitcoin, right? 4% of the Bitcoin network they own, so that's $58 billion worth of Bitcoin if you exclude the converts and the prefs, right? So without minusing the converts and the pref, they have 58 billion of Bitcoin, and the dilution for MSTR was 334 million, so that's 0.57%. It's still not a lot. It's very much not a lot. I think this is Saylor's version of doing nothing. These are not large moves, especially in context of history with MSTR. MSTR has been known to make billion-dollar moves, $2 billion moves at times. You may remember in 2025. So 334 million, not a big move for MSTR, a little bigger than in prior weeks. But it adds up, right? Over a 20-week period, if you were to do this for 20 weeks, it would add up. And so I wish he did nothing, because we are diluting the common shareholder at a MNAV of 1.07 as of today, and the stock is up today. Actually, the MNAV last week was around 1.05 throughout the week. So we're selling $100 bills for 105. That's not very attractive. We used to be selling $100 bills for $180, right, for the longest time for this company. So it's not the most attractive. I wish he did nothing. I still think in Saylor's view of the world, this is equivalent to really not doing much, and it's more signaling than anything. Economically, this has, I think, very little impact. It's more signaling. And the stretch, so I took a wrong timing from my buyback. I make the video, it was at 95, and then it just dropped again by 30 cents. Did the buyback help? I don't know. I think this is more random. We don't have any liquidity for Bitcoin. If you look at Bitcoin for the past month, it's also very much random. If you look at the performance of Bitcoin the past month, we're down 0.33%. Bitcoin has been ridiculously boring for months now, especially the past month. And when I look at Stretch, when I look at at least the week-to-week movements, they look more random to me than anything, except when we go ex-dividend. Now, if you look at the past 1 month, we had an exit of the FUD, right? A lot of the FUD went away in the past month, and we're actually up 11% over the past month for Stretch. But I'm not so sure the buybacks made a difference. In my view, Stretch is just living a life of its own. Buyers and sellers, pressures from buyers, pressures from sellers, as sometimes people say in a facetious way when they talk about stocks, more buyers than sellers, etc. But I'm not I'm not so sure Stretch is moving based on the actions of Saylor. To me, it seems like Stretch is waiting for Bitcoin to pump back up, and we all are. And so the cure to strategy, the cure to Stretch, is Bitcoin going back up. It's not these small moves. These small moves are just signaling, and they're not that economically significant over many, many weeks. They can add up, but it's not what we need. What we need is Bitcoin to be fixed. And that has always been the story of of strategy. That has always been the story of MSTR, is we need Bitcoin to do well for MSTR to do well. MSTR has not been doing well because Bitcoin has not been doing well at all. Bitcoin is not interesting right now. People are all about AI and memory. People are not looking at Bitcoin right now, right? As far as stretch is concerned, I also believe we need to see the 10-year come down. I mean, the 10-year is still annoyingly high. We need to see interest rates come down. If you look at the CME Fed Watch tool, they are now only predicting an interest rate hike in December, right? You go back a few weeks ago, they were predicting 2 to 3 rate hikes. So we'll see if we get any rate hikes this year, but it will be very helpful if we don't get a lot of rate hikes this year. If we get none, that'd be very helpful too, because stretch trades partially on Bitcoin, mostly on Bitcoin really, but it also stretch partially on what the 10-year yields, right, and what the U.S. Treasuries yield. And we need these yields to go down. If the yields go down, an instrument like stretch should go up. Stretch is more dependent on macro factors, namely, money supply going up, aka Bitcoin going up too, if we keep printing like crazy, at least in theory, and eventually the yields coming down. And that's what gets stretched back. And now we have so many months of dividend coverage. I didn't have it pulled up, but we should be getting close to 3 years of dividend coverage now. So now I think Sailor can relax and do nothing. How about MSTR? MSTR is bouncing back a little bit. Or is it? If you look at the 1 month period, yeah, we're just a little bit up. We're up 2%. Bitcoin's flat, boring like ever. So really, these assets haven't done much. Volatility is gone. Wall Street is on vacation. Crypto fear and greed index. We've been in the low levels of fear. We've been right below neutral. Also for the longest time. How many times have I reported about this? It's like we've been right below neutral also for the longest time. I say let's wait for September. I'm not sure Sailor should dilute us for another 2 weeks. We need to just wait for September. We need to wait for Wall Street to come back from vacation. Everybody to come back from vacation. August is even more of a dead month, right? Congress is gone. Clarity Act is not coming. The Fed is not having a meeting, which is a good thing, by the way. I love it. So we don't have a meeting, but we'll have the Wyoming press conference that could move the markets at the end of this month. Everybody's gone on vacation, so these assets are just left with low liquidity, low anything. But anyways, I'll conclude with this by telling you, what do I know? What do I know? Is this random or is this working? If you look at the price of MSTR today compared to Bitcoin, we're greatly outperforming Bitcoin today on MSTR. It's major outperformance on MSTR of Bitcoin. So what is this due to, right? Is this due to the market liking these moves from Sailor? Or is this due to the fact that Sailor maybe is not ATMing right now? Right? Maybe Sailor's not ATMing right now. Maybe he's waiting to see how the end of the week develops to ATM, and maybe ATM's more heavy at the end of the week. I just don't think there's a lot of meaningful signal in this company right now, and in STRC as well. We don't have much going on until Bitcoin bounces back, and so it requires a lot of patience. This investment requires so much patience, and that's not new for anything related to Bitcoin. Bitcoin has always required a crazy amount of patience. We need to keep being patient. So anyway, this was not investment advice. This is not financial advice. This is only entertainment. I'm hoping you were entertained. Please like, please subscribe, follow me on Patreon, follow me on X. Thank you for watching, and have a wonderful, wonderful day.